But before you leave the stage, before you all leave the stage, a lot of people have been asking me something. People have been hitting me up and said, "Can Stretch still bust?" And like, I was telling everyone, nah, Stretch is real whack. He's whack now. So I would like Stretch to do something on stage for the people and bless us with some kind of movement.
Wait. First and foremost, we don't dance on carpet.
Yo, let the DJs play some music for the man down here on the floor. So where there's some circles being happening, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now all this ADD stuff, let's go ahead and do this shit.
Man, cut every mic except for the cordless. Cut every mic except for the cordless.
Rap up the stage, you for a while, it won't go away.
Let's get it, come on, come on.
Believe it or not, this is a remix. Some say you just don't know how to act. After you act too wild, get away from me, you crack my style. Lovely lady, can't you see? This is what you do to me. Got me working to the bone. Then you ask why I ain't home. Work all day, get good at night. I come running home to treat you right. Trying to spend time with my two children, but this world has got me broken. Down the line, I just can't stop. On and on, I might just stop. Tripping and falling, but that's okay. I do it all for you anyway. Do my best just to please you, and in return, this is what you do. You make me sweat, you make me work. You rock my body while you're wrong. You make me sweat, you make me work. You rock my body while my girl is jerk. Pretty little mama, what's your kick? I like to know what makes you tick. Off to rock, I'll put it up. As I watch you, I'ma get it up. I like to know where your mind is at. But you say you ain't got no time for that. I try to test you, put over pressure. Finally got you on the spot. Now I regret every effort I've made. You finally gave in and now you're to invade. I can't tell my left from my right. Sweet girl, you got my head feeling light. Everybody asks what's wrong with my G. Now you tell me you're having a baby. She ain't had it, I blame it on you. It's all because of you.
I come to the club and everything, you know. So what I wanted to do was talk to Divine Styler, talk to Stretch, talk to Carrie, some of the pioneers of our movement, for them to give us some light on everything. So one of the questions that I want to ask to all of you, first of all, could you all introduce yourself? You're gonna have to kind of share mics. I think we're kind of, oh, there's one more right here, Divine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, from the left, we got...
What's up, y'all? Do the Stretch. Up top. New York City.
In the middle, we got...
What's up? Carrie High Kicks, East Side's Choreographers Carnival, and fucking everything else. What's going on? West Coast, representing.
Yo, Divine Styler, Brooklyn, Heights, Fort Greene, Clinton Hill, LG, Peace and Leonard, Rothschild, Sound of J. Don't know about that. Yo, let me tell you something. This man right here, I first seen this nigga in Union Square in 1986.
I'm old.
You young boy.
I'm old and proud of it.
In Union Square, 1986. He was there, Cliff Love was there, IOU was there, JAC was there.
Yeah.
It was a whole bunch of cats there.
That's a whole lot of shit.
Whole bunch of cats there.
Nothing about. But we can get into that.
All right, Carrie has been a big help to me on this movie. He's provided a lot of footage. A lot of the rare footage that you guys seen is he's been very incremental in helping me understand things, and he's done a lot of knowledge. And it's cool when you meet people from the past that's put in the knowledge, and then when you meet someone else, you share everything. And no one knows everything, you know. So it's all about building and continuing that building session. Me and Stretch were kicking it for a long time today, sharing ideas, talking about things, and he's all the way on the other side of the coast, but it's so amazing how we all that study the game think alike, you know? So one thing I would like you all to address is the question of why or how do all these dances that we see in this video correlate? What's the similarities between the two? Is there even a purpose of having a movie like this come out?
Yes, it is.
I'd like to say, hell yeah. I'm a big proponent of, I'm a straight street dancer, but I get through jobs, technical jobs, because I bullshit my way through, number one. Number two, I had the sense of mind when I was a kid to learn from people a lot older than me and study my past. And my past, for me to be a dancer for 30 years now, and my past was everything that I could ever see before that. I used to come out, and, you know, I started going out to clubs when I was 10 years old, to the Sugar Shack. And that place was fucking cold, man, serious. There was some badass dances. Some of those cats you've seen in the Soul Train videos used to hang out there all the time. But the thing that got me is I'd come home at 3 in the morning, and I'd turn on Channel 5, and there would be some old ill Fred Astaire movie or Nicholas Brothers, you know, because that's all they played was that and horror movies at 3 in the morning. And I'd stay up till 6 in the morning watching that shit. And that finished my education. So this movie, I think, is completely necessary, and I completely support what you're doing, and I'll do anything to help you finish any project you have.
Let me just point out something to y'all. I'm gonna tell you what I told AJ, that a friend of mine traveled to South Africa recently, and he was talking with some brothers from South Africa about what we call a dance over here, and the brother from South Africa showed him a step, and he was like, oh yeah, we made that up in Oakland. The brother from South Africa told him, you know, that step has been around before there was an Oakland. He said, we've been doing all what y'all call hip-hop or street dance before there was an America. So understand, ain't nothing new under the sun. Everybody wants credit for what they did and what they've done, but ain't nothing new under the sun. This is not ours.
Thank you.
It comes from there. And just to be real with you, as a black person and a descendant of slaves, we got cut off from there. This is our way back.
Thank you. Yes. Much respect. You pretty much said kind of what I wanted to say, is that dance is tribal. It's genetics. It's DNA. And nothing's new. And it depends on how strong your genes are. Depends on what comes out. And you can trace yourself back to your tribe from your dance pentameter. And ain't nothing new under the sun. He said it.
And another thing, we all tap into the same energy. That energy is the love for music and culture. So it don't matter where you from, what your background is, we all tap into the same
source.
Energy. When you see somebody dancing to some music that you love and you see them get down, they give off the love of the music. That's what you get, that's what you give back. That is the connection.
Yes, man.
So if anybody ever tell you anything differently, tell them Buddha Stretch said, I got a left cheek that they can kiss because they're fine.
I got a question for Stretch. One of the most important films I ever saw in my life was Wrecking Shop.
True. Yeah, that was hot.
And, you know, growing up, before I even saw the film, you know, I was dancing and I would see some of the older cats doing this new style that was just so fresh to me, and I was like, damn, that shit is hot. And, you know, I was getting jealous because I'm like, damn, how they think of that shit, man? Like, just like that, you know? And then when I saw the video, I was just shaking my head because so many cats bit that shit. We were talking about the importance of we were talking about the importance of that film. Could you tell the people about what we were talking about, reference to Japan and everything about the film?
Well, check this out. He asked me this question earlier. As far as a live TV record shop or whatever, when we shot that, it was nothing. It was somebody that wanted to. We had actually done a documentary 2 years before that called House of Trey, and it was originally shot about the dance nightlife, the gay nightlife, voguing, all of that stuff. She wanted to shoot that documentary on that. And when she got to the clubs, she shot all of that, but she found that every club that she went to, she would see dancers. And so we were those dancers. So she devoted the first 15 minutes of that documentary about us. And after that came out, she said, you know what, I'm going to shoot a documentary just on you guys. And that's how Record Shop came into being. She just wanted to capture, you know, the energy and the feeling of what, you know, the club nightlife was and you know, the whole dance thing. It was just something that we did. We were just living it. She just said, you know, I want to film you guys. We didn't get paid a dime. Nobody cared about it. We didn't know it was going to have any impact. It was...
Who was that?
You know that shit is real. Feedback.
Yeah.
This shit is live.
We all right? It's all right. We know it is. Okay. We're running short on time. I have another question for you guys. One thing I asked Stretch today, rhetorically, was would it be okay to make the argument that locking was bigger than breakdancing, and if so, why? And I would like all you guys to address that question.
Man, that's getting some shit. For me, it was bigger because I'm a locker and a popper, and that's just me. I don't think you can separate the two any more than you can make the two the same. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all relative, man. It all influenced everything that came after that. That is, you know, locking was the beginning of the hip hop movement, basically. You know, but breakdancing made it there. You know, and you know, going back to what they said, they ain't nothing new, man. People were breakdancing like in a film in the 20s. So it's hard to say. You know, I don't think either one is bigger or better. I think they're both part of the same family. My personal opinion. Stretch.
Well, as coming up underneath the Rocksteady crew, the New York City Breakers, and in that entire era, and then being educated about Don Campbell and the Lockers later, I can say this for sure. Rocksteady did a bunch of movies and they took the dance globally, but Rocksteady wasn't on, you know, they didn't perform on Soul Train as themselves. They didn't perform at the Grammys as themselves. Johnny Carson didn't invite them to be on his show as themselves.
They didn't have their own TV show as themselves.
They didn't have a cartoon. They weren't on Saturday Night Live as themselves. So the Lockers broke ground that nobody can compare to because they were the Lockers. When I saw the Grammys, the 76 Grammys, and they introducing all the acts, and the Lockers. I mean, come on, you don't get no bigger than that. When I hear, you know, I've worked with I don't know how many damn artists from over the years. Diana Ross knew who the Lockers were. So you can make a valid comparison between this and that, but you got to give the Lockers and Don Campbell their credit. They broke ground for street dancing that everybody did.
Mike Frankie. He went downstairs. He was one of the original. Yeah, he was one of the original. We grew up with the dudes. And, you know what I mean? I brought him here to speak on that subject and whatnot. But again, Stretch answered it in its entirety from our perspective.
Let me ask you guys another question. What was the importance to the hip-hop freestyle dance culture of Scheme Team, Soul Brothers, and the Mob Tops Elite Force?
When I first I come, you know, we grew up in Brooklyn. We grew up dancing. All the clubs, whatever. My father was one of the biggest DJs in New York, BLS. He DJed with Larry Levan, and he did all the master mixes for Paradise Garage, Studio 54, Melons, Pippins, Leviticus, Zanzibar, all that. So I grew up, my father had a sound system. He learned from DJ Flowers, the original disco, whatever you want to call it, jam park DJ. And I just grew up in it. I used to sneak in Latin Quarters, go to Union Square, Hotel Amazon, wherever it was dancing, you know what I mean, if it, on the street, whatever. But the thing that made Scheme Team, which I think we single-handedly pushed the freestyle dancing is because when I came out here, I was doing a bunch of New York shit, strictly New York shit, but I was a B-boy at heart. Kameen was a B-boy, but he was an ultra wave head also. Kalani was a B-boy, but he was a popper also. Yes, rest in peace to my brother Charlie B. Kalani. And Tanjo, Peruvian style, and we just, when I first came out with the Paradise 24, I think the club was, and I was telling Mark, I seen Legend, I saw Vance and Craig, and they was ultra waving, and they had on tight pants, they had on skinny shoes, which in New York are called roach killers. They had fades, and it was greased down.
Now see, when I met Craig, he was bald-headed and dressed in all black and had a cane.
Yeah. that was the Soul Brother. That was the original Soul Brother shit.
There you go.
That was just it. And the far right and all them. And when I saw them that night, I spanked them niggas. And they never seen no shit like that in their life. Because it was straight from New York and shit. I was doing all that shit we was doing in Union Square and Latin Quarters. They never seen no shit like that. But Jeff was my man. We grew up together and shit. And Jeff was like, yo, you gotta show my dancers some steps. Me and Kameen spanked them niggas. But we was B-boys too, so we was tumbling and jumping and do all that wild shit, and it just went over to something else. That's when freestyle dancing took off, because once Scheme Team and Soul Brothers started going at each other, then it spread. Because we just, you know, Legend is my man and shit, but he told a different story and shit. That's my nigga and shit.
That's okay, we truth seekers.
He told a different story and shit. Scheme Team came to California, put that shit down. I can't forget Cockney old time.
You know, check this out. In the importance, in the scheme of things, none of us are important.
Exactly.
I don't want none of that. You know who's important? Let's mention the bridge between the West Coast and the East Coast. Started all of this shit. James Brown is important.
Yes.
Because without James Brown, we have no funk. We have no breaks. We have no hip hop. Because that whole feeling of hip hop comes from that man. So, in the important scheme of things or whatever, I'll leave that to people's opinions, because everybody has an opinion, and I don't really care. All I want to be known for is, at the end of the day, when you saw me then and you see me now, you acknowledge that's a bad motherfucker. That's all that counts to me. Because when I go somewhere and people say, oh, that's Stretch, I'm not gonna be one of them fools standing in the back of the club posting up or on some Hollywood shit. Or I'm a nigga from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, if you don't represent, you get robbed, you get shot, you be over. Done. And I know I grew up, you know, that's how we grew up. In New York City, you did not bullshit. If you bullshitted, you got robbed, you got shot, you got put in the ground. Or you got hurt forever. You was known as a herd. Niggas, oh, that nigga's a herd nigga, he's a duck nigga. You just gotta sit around. So if you didn't show, prove, and represent every time, I don't care if you had a rep. It's always somebody new coming up to test your rep. Like, who is that nigga? Oh, word, so what? Exactly. So I'm that dude that every time you be like, who is that dude? Oh, word, so what? I'm the nigga that invites you. Come test me. Because I'm nicer now at 38 than I was at 18. So come test me. I tell people this all the time. I live this. I'm a student of this. I study it. I don't study the East Coast or the West Coast. I study dance. I'm not a popper, a locker, a hip hop. I'm a dancer. Understand what that means? That covers all of that. And as KRS-One loves to
say, and you can ask him about me because he know me very well. I am hip hop.
Go ahead, Karen.
I just want to touch on something that Stretch said real quick. James Brown is definitely the synthesis, his movement and his music. And I was watching, I was putting together something for Skeeter Rabbit, rest in peace, Skeeter. And you know, I had to go through all these tapes. And he was saying, like Tony Basil was asking him in this interview, actually it was Frankie D was asking him in this interview, what was your biggest influence? And he said, my biggest influence was James Brown. Wow. Don Camelot, same thing.
Exactly.
You know, so like Stretch said, man.
Exactly. And do the time.
Everybody after that is just adding to the soup. Because, you know, like they said, the Scheme Team, Soul Brothers, you know, I know everybody for a long time. But you know what? They don't start way before we did. So that's why
kind of be quiet for a second, guys. We got another person here.
Michael Frankie,
Listen up.
introduce yourself, please. Very important speaker right here, people.
Thank you. First of all, I gotta tell y'all thanks, man, for supporting
Chill
me.
out, guys. Keep it down, man.
Listen.
I was 15, 16 years old out in them South Central streets, the home of the body bag, Yellow Tape Central, y'all know, right? And this art form saved my life. Okay, I was shot twice, cut once, and this art form saved me from killing somebody else. Okay, so this art is very important to me, and the truth has to be documented for the future generation. So I want to tell all of y'all how much I appreciate y'all being here and supporting this, because there's no more art in schools anymore. So our kids, our youth, this is going to be their school to teach about our culture. And I'm not talking about black, white, Asian, I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about the culture of humanity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. This shit can bind us. All right, if we treat it right and we treat it as the art it deserves. But now we got past that shit. All right. We lost a loved one last couple of days. His name was Skeeter Rabbit. All right. But I don't want to make nobody mad in here. But that's not Skeeter Rabbit. Okay. The original Skeeter Rabbit's name is James Higgins.
Yes.
Tony Basil gave him that name to perpetrate this fraud. I don't want to make nobody mad at him, because I'm sure some loved ones, he got some loved ones in here, and I'm not mad at him. When Skeet went to Thailand, when James went to Thailand this last year, he told me he met this guy. And the guy was apologetic. He was like, man, they just wanted me to beat you. And that's how this game works. You know what I'm saying? I was mad at John Travolta for 20 years. Because that was my life on that fucking screen. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't John's fault. It ain't nobody's fault. That's just the way shit works. We gotta get over that petty shit with this shit, man. You know, the original lockers, Shabba-Doo, Don, Camel Jr., Crookie Lou, they were definitely there in the party. They were definitely a concrete party. If it wasn't for Don, I wouldn't even fucking be here. But they weren't the only thing happening. Okay, it was a lot of sets in town when, I hate to keep mentioning this woman's name. Because when she see me, she probably got an Italian on the phone right now. I'm sorry, that was fucked up. I'm just playing. No, I'm just saying, you know, I want to rectify, the story needs to be told. Locking, I can't talk about breakdancing, I can't talk about none of that. But I can talk about this locking shit. Okay, that shit started at Watts Riders. Okay, you know what the Watts Towers is? That's where that shit started. Okay, and it moved down further south to the low bottoms where I live, because I was a bottom feeder. Alright, I was in that shit. I was with that baby back bullshit. Alright? This bad shit is so crucial to our humanity and our love for each other and compassion, because it don't matter who hated who in here. When we was looking at that shit on that screen, everybody was feeling the same damn way. The same damn way, man.
Well, look, man, I would like to, sorry to cut you off, but we're on time, and
I'm straight. Thank you for even allowing me to speak.
No problem.
One quick point, real quick. I just want to acknowledge that Skeeter also said in that video that he has now called himself Big Skeet 1, not Skeeter Rabbit. And he was totally apologetic to...
I gotta follow up with that too. When I met Skeeter Rabbit, he told me from day one, I'm not the original Skeeter
He
Rabbit.
was never, he hasn't found it on that. So
From the moment I met him, he told me about James Higgins, that was from Watts, part of the original Locking Crew, and he said he got that name because he imitated the original Skeeter Rabbit all the time, so that they called him Little Skeeter Rabbit.
Exactly.
And it just stuck. And when he got into popping, it changed the whole game because he wasn't locking no more, and he picked up the name, but he never took credit for that. In Japan, he teach all of them, I'm not the original Skeeter
I never had
Rabbit.
the opportunity to meet the man, but what I've heard about him,
He always had it straight about it.
And what I just want to follow up what you said about this shit saving his life. Skeeter Rabbit was a triple OG, as he would say, Crip from when he was 11 years old. He'd been in jail, he got shot, stabbed, and he will tell you if he was standing right here now that without this dance, he'd have been dead a long time.
Well, yeah, I'm sure probably all three of us on the stage, all four of us on the stage would definitely be dead without street dance.
So,
Okay, can everyone give them a round of applause for taking out the time?